In times of war, Kyiv's relations with neighbouring EU countries are crucial in terms of Ukraine's resilience. That is why Russia has placed special emphasis on undermining Ukraine's bilateral relations with neighbouring EU countries. By exerting an informational influence on European audience, the Kremlin is trying to undermine the determination of EU governments to provide aid to Ukraine. Russian informational influence in European countries on a larger scale is aimed at discrediting the idea of the EU enlargement and fueling Eurosceptic sentiments. Given this, within the project Paving Ukraine's Path to the EU Informational Dimension, Ukraine Crisis Media Center conducted a survey of experts using a structured questionnaire method. More than 90 journalists, political scientists, and information security experts from Poland, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, and Romania were interviewed. The survey was conducted from June the 11th to July the 1st, 2024. We asked experts to answer these 5 questions. How would you assess the level of coverage of the Russia-Ukraine war in traditional media, TV, radio, and newspapers? Should the traditional media pay more attention to the Russia-Ukraine war? Is there manipulation and disinformation about the Russia-Ukrainian war on social media platforms? Is the topic of Ukraine's European integration still relevant in the information discourse of your country as of May, June 2024? Was the issue of Ukraine's European integration addressed in the political campaigns of Eurosceptic parties and social political movements? And so, we're delighted to now present results. First, let's take a look at the results from the Czech Republic. All surveyed experts believed that traditional Czech media adequately covers events in Ukraine, a true consensus. However, 2/3 of the Czech specialists polled believe that Ukraine-related issues receive enough attention, and this situation should remain. In the Czech social network segment, 3/4 of respondents reported deliberate and coordinated actions. The rest believe that anti-Ukrainian disinformation campaigns are sporadic and periodic. Half of the Czech respondents believe that the topic of Ukraine's European integration becomes more relevant in the country's information space on a regular basis, depending on the current events. The remaining opinions are divided. However, a significant portion believe that the topic of Ukraine's European integration will become more relevant as Ukraine's EU membership negotiations progress. Furthermore, half of the surveyed Czech specialists stated that the topic of Ukraine's European integration is not currently being addressed in the political campaigns of Eurosceptic parties and social and political movements in their country. They believe that as the negotiations for Ukraine's EU membership progresses, it will become more relevant. 35% hold a different view. They observe that in the rhetoric of Czech Eurosceptics, the issue of Ukraine's integration arises on a regular basis in response to high-profile events, regardless of the actual dynamics of the negotiations. Now let's analyse the survey results from Bulgarian media experts. 70% of the experts polled believe that traditional media pays insufficient attention to events in Ukraine, while only 30% disagree. At the same time, the vast majority of respondents believe that the topic of Ukraine deserves far more coverage in traditional media broadcasts. Almost all Bulgarian experts additionally stated the presence of deliberate and coordinated anti-Ukrainian activities on social media. Experts were divided on the next 2 questions. Approximately equal portions of respondents choose 3 options for Ukraine's European integration, and they are: its relevance fluctuates, often increasing during high-profile events. It will gain more relevance depending on the progress of negotiations for Ukraine's EU membership, or this topic is not given attention in the media at all. Experts were also divided on how to cover Ukraine's European integration. Next, we look at the survey results from the Romanian media experts. The experts' views on the adequacy of war coverage in the Romanian information space are the following. 64% of the experts polled believe the traditional media adequately covers events in Ukraine, with only 36% disagreeing. 2/3 of respondents believe that the war's events deserve even more coverage in traditional media. Experts were evenly divided on whether the Russia-Ukrainian war is the subject of manipulation and disinformation in Romanian social media. Additionally, 60% of Romanian experts believe that the topic of Ukraine's accession to the EU is relevant in Bulgarian information discourse. Meanwhile, half of the respondents believe that Romanian Eurosceptic political parties take advantage of Ukraine's European integration when possible. The final country in our expert survey is Poland. The vast majority of Polish experts believe that the local mass media adequately covers the events in Ukraine. 2/3 of the experts polled believe that Poland's traditional media currently maintains an informational balance that should continue. The rest believe that the Polish public should be better informed about the events in Ukraine. It is worth noting that 60% of Polish respondents believe the Russia-Ukrainian war is being manipulated and disinformation is prevalent on social media in Poland. Concerning the last two questions, there is no shared opinion. Nearly 40% of experts think that Polish media covers the subject of Ukraine's European integration during high-profile events. 34% of the respondents note that the topic of Ukraine's membership in the EU will be updated during the membership negotiations, and 17% are of the opinion that this topic will be constantly present in the discourse of the Polish media. Polish experts were roughly equally divided on whether local Eurosceptics would use the topic of Ukraine's future in the EU. The survey was organised with the support of the European Union and the International Renaissance Foundation within the framework European Renaissance of Ukraine project. Its content is the exclusive responsibility of the authors and does not necessarily reflect the views of the European Union and the International Renaissance Foundation.